Well, when Jonathan asked me to be on his podcast, I needed to come up with some stories about the various Celtic things that may or may not be true.
I have to do 15 things before I actually sit down and settle.
Mm-hmm. That one's mine. Uh-huh. Sorry.
Okay, as soon as you're done, we can get to the history portion of our video. So in continuation of my exploration of tartans other than red and green,
yes, the Brucemas tree.
we are now doing an unboxing. The company, the company's name is HIGHLAND KILT Company.
Indeed.
And I was just doing research actually for fabric when I stumbled across this website, but the skirts that they make are so unique and really cool, and unfortunately they are acrylic.
Yes.
But it's a skirt, so I don't really have to worry about
breathability so much.
Not so much. And I just thought I'll buy one, give it a shot, see what happens. And if I like it, there's another one I have my eye on. And that will really expand my tartan collection. And it won't just be the two-purse skirts, which is my goal, is to explore as many tartans as possible, because history dictates, and I'll leave that to you to explain, that we're not limited to our family names.
Because that really wasn't a thing until the Victorian era. The use of plaid in the Highlands, plaid wool for garments, goes back quite a long time. But the dye patterns weren't really unique to
a clan.
You have foam on your lip, darling. There you go. They would just essentially use whatever dyes were available, historically speaking, in the area to dye their fabrics, whatever patterns they liked. The research that I did into this, which culminated in me being on a podcast with your brother.
I'll link that in the description
below, my girl.
So you can listen to the history.
Yeah, I go into more depth there. I will try to give the Cliff Notes version here. The idea of tartans being unique to particular clans or particular families is an invention of Victorian marketing. It's basically Victorian English marketing. I should have said English, but I figured Victorian was implied. Whereas when Scotland kind of got more integrated into the United Kingdom and all of that, there were some tartans that were gifted to particular families for services to the crown. The Black Watch tartan is one of those. It's a variation of what's called the Campbell tartan.
We'll do that in another video. That history will be done in another video.
And I think I talked somewhat sort of about that in the podcast a little bit. Maybe not.
Don't think you did.
We'll get into that later in another video.
Traders.
Yes, well, we'll get into that in another video. That soapbox stays in the car today. But essentially, there was a company that was supplying all of the kilts, essentially, to the Scottish regiments of the British Army. And in the 19th century, there was a period of romantic idealization of what life in the Highlands might have been like, traditional Scottish dress and things like that. And this company kind of seized on that and started marketing tartans to people as like, this is from XYZ clan or what have you, and expanded.
That company is still running.
To the best of my knowledge, yes, that company still runs. And
which
I don't recall offhand. It was a family company, something in Sons. I forget what it was exactly, but
it's in the podcast.
It'll be in the podcast. We'll link it. But they had a catalog of a couple of hundred tartans, and then they expanded that to, I think today they have a few thousand that are officially registered tartans. But the king of
But instead of assigning each kilt or each tartan a number in this catalog, they decided it would be easier for marketability purposes to assign a name.
Yeah, instead of a number. People would remember the family names easier than tartan number 1743.
And then that kind of spun out of control.
Right.
And now we modern folk believe that each family tartan is unique and you
can't wear that unless it's inside your clan. There was I forget which king of England it was, but it back in the 1700s. It might have been maybe Charles II, maybe whoever was directly after him, wanted to take a tour of the Highlands and see their traditional Highland. Excuse me. Pardon me. Their traditional Highland dress and things like that. And so the heads of the clans, the chiefs, got wind of that and actually had to inquire of this tartan registry company which tartan their clan used to wear, because it wasn't really a thing. It wasn't part of their tradition. And
learn your history.
So that kind of all got invented wholesale by this one particular wool merchant in England, who was supplying the Highland regiments, and just decided found that they could make a few bucks off of people who wanted to pretend to be old-timey Scots.
A whole nation's myth built on capitalism.
Built on capitalism.
And we believe it to this day.
Mm-hmm. So,
and if it wasn't for my husband dissuading me of that notion, I'd still believe it.
Mm-hmm. Well, when Jonathan asked me to be on his podcast, I needed to come up with some stories about the various Celtic things that may or may not be true. And turns out, so yeah, that was interesting to find out, but that opens up some horizons a bit.
It does. We can really expand our wardrobe. So I got a cape last year at the Bakersfield Highland Games. Mm-hmm. And that tartan is specific to the nation.
Yeah.
So it's not even attributed to any clan or anything.
Yeah, but it's very much a modern creation.
The Pride of Scotland tartan, and I liked it because it's gorgeous.
It's stunning.
It's purple.
It's beautifully purple.
Purple is my favorite color, and so I bought the cape.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out what I wanted was an outfit to go with the cape, because at the time I was just kind of forced to wear my Bruce skirt with this cape, and it didn't.
That was somewhat clashy.
It wasn't even the colors. It was a summer skirt worn with a winter cape.
A nice heavy wool winter cape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually acrylic.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it is acrylic. Oh well.
Yeah.
It's still pretty.
Yeah, acrylic is just a cheap version of wool, and I can't escape it. It's very sad for me. I try. Mm-hmm. I try so hard.
We'll get there. It's fine.
Yeah, but
if it's meant to keep you warm, then it'll do the job.
I wanted to make my own outfit to go with the cape, but instead I just kind of stumbled on this company and their skirts. It's a pixie skirt, so it will actually look a lot like the two skirts I made.
Nice.
Only this one will be out of a thicker fabric and not just this sheer polyester.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're unbagging today, is our Pride of Scotland pixie skirt. All right, enough chit-chat. Let's do this. Oh, it's longer than I expected. That's nice.
Indeed. Well, that is so pretty. I really do like that color. And I look as good in purple as you do, so that actually works out nicely for both of us.
Yes, I adore purple. It is my favorite color.
Mm-hmm. And it just, for whatever reason, it actually works very well with my skin tone.
Mm-hmm. Which is hilarious, because you're autumn and I'm summer.
Yes. I will, whatever that means. I look good in autumn colors, but purple works.
All right, so here it is.
It's floofy.
It's floofy. It's thick. It's a nice thick.
It is a thick fabric. It is softer than you'd think it would be.
Yeah,
no, that's really cool.
It's actually quite soft.
Those buckles are something else.
Yes, the buckles, I like that it has buckles. Yeah, it's more than just an elastic waistline like
Indeed.
I've been making. It has a proper waistline, nice and thick. I think there's interface in here. It
I will take your word for that.
Very well made.
Indeed. What is...
For
that's a zipper.
A mass manufactured garment, but this is actually really
it does
well
seem,
made.
yeah.
Yeah,
no, it's definitely a substantial garment.
It will require steaming.
Well, yes. But we still have that steamer, right?
It has 2 layers, just like my skirts. Two squares just kind of put together with a waistline offset, in the middle. Yeah. That's exactly what I've made for
what myself. You did, yeah.
Nice buckles.
Which will help a lot to hold it closed.
Really happy about how soft this is for a synthetic fabric.
Indeed. It's not scratchy at all.
Okay. Let's try this on.
Oh, ooh, Velcro.
Velcro on the waistline, and then a zipper in the side.
I think to not infringe on their copyright, it's a hook and loop fastener system. Velcro is a brand name.
Okay.
That's a thing I know that you apparently had to know as well.
Okay.
Sort of like how we use Kleenex for all of our facial tissues, or Xerox for all of our photocopies.
Seems like this is just for decoration. This doesn't serve any kind of functional purpose.
Oh, it'll look cool when it's gathered, though. That's the thing. I think that is definitely for the aesthetic, and I'm always here for the aesthetic.
You're ridiculous.
Yeah, I will be here. I'll try not to make weird faces at the camera while you're gone. Oh, never mind.
Oh, look at them.
Yeah, no, I can see it.
It's the same acrylic fabric, I think.
Okay, same dye lot almost, maybe.
See?
Yeah, no, that's perfect.
That's a perfect match.
Awesome. Well, that's exciting. You're going to be the prettiest girl at the Highland Games.
I hope so. I'm just excited to wear something other than Bruce.
Indeed.
Next year's Highland Games are going to be really fun for me.
Indeed, they will.
Yeah.
But you also have your eye on something called the Heritage of Bruce, aren't you?
Spirit of Bruce.
Spirit of Bruce, excuse me.
Spirit of Bruce. And I appreciate that one because it has black.
Yes. Like your soul.
So really high on the waist. This is actually where the natural waist sits. Would it look better if I wasn't tucked in?
No, I think tucked in is fine.
Yeah, that's kind of the style of cartons.
I'm not sure where those buckles are supposed to land.
Up front.
Oh.
Like front and to the side. Like
that makes sense.
So just going to adjust this a bit. Okay.
No, that looks really good.
It'll look better when it's steamed.
But, it just came out of the bag. It's fine. We understand.
Yeah.
But no, that's really nice. That's really, really nice.
And put my shoes back on.
That's an idea. And then you can toss the cape on over it.
This is nice and hefty. So that'll be good for the winter time.
We need to find a winter festival to go to. I have been saying.
We've been saying that for a long time.
Fortunately, though, the way that that room is at the Highland Games in Bakersfield, where our merch table, such as it is, usually sits, you're right under the AC vent. So that cape came in super handy.
Yeah, that's
why we bought it.
Not why we bought it.
It was one of the factors.
Certainly a perk, because this cape kept me nice and warm right under that vent.
Yeah, like that was some intense AC. That is very Scottish. No, I like it. That's very cool.
That's the goal.
That's a great.
I'm looking at my reflection in the TV.
I assumed.
Yeah, I think this is.
That's a great look.
Really good look.
Mm-hmm. Pair with the right leggings and the right shoes.
Right at the hem.
Nice.
So it's all like
that is
an even.
It all looks intentional and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that hat, even though it's a different shade of purple, still kind of works.
Yeah, this is the Boston Scally Company.
Mm-hmm.
It's their
that's the
purple rose.
Violet
rose.
But no, that the outfit looks really good.
And then these I also bought.
That's true. At the Highland Games. At
it's
a different
rabbit
booth.
Fur.
It is.
Rabbit fur gloves. They're very soft. I just keep them with the cape because that's how purple am I right now?
Extremely. You are very purple. It is all the purples.
I'm overdosing on my favorite color.
A little bit, yeah. Do we know if that was new rabbit fur or if they repurposed it?
I believe it was new. They didn't mention if it was or wasn't.
Fair. Rabbit fur is very soft.
Well, if they come back next year, which they will.
They will, because they're always there.
It's a huge booth.
Yeah.
And they sell all my favorite things.
Mm-hmm.
We can ask.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I would prefer to use repurposed fur because then they're not killing new animals, but still, either way. It does, oh my god, it has pockets.
Yes. The cape has a pocket, which is where you keep the gloves.
It has pockets.
We have pockets? We have pockets? We have...
That really is one of my favorite videos. I love that. It's so fun. You should link that video.
Yes.
Just so people don't think we're crazy. Well, I mean, they already think we're crazy.
Oh, it's so swooshy. I'm going to swoosh.
Of course you are.
I'm very happy about the swoosh. Holy crap, look at that.
Well, when you have fabric that's sort of heavy and actually has momentum to it, yeah, that can do things like that.
I'm so happy. Okay, I'm getting Spirit of Verse.
How old are you right now?
I'm going shopping. 5.
Yep, that's what it looked like.
Okay, I'm getting so many more of these. It's a good thing I'm going back to work because I gotta pay for these.
Yep. Right. It's like, you're going to have to be a little bit
So I think that one's yours.
Yeah, I would imagine. Man, that's pretty. Oh, I like that pattern very much.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous plaid. I don't know why the Bruces get stuck with that Christmas plaid, and then the people who just wannabe get the cool one.
Yeah. Let me see if I can...
Oh, right. Well, you share a little bit of history on this plaid.
On this one?
Yeah, the Spirit of Bruce.
Do I know the history of this one?
I thought you told me. No. I found it on Highland Kilt, and I was like, hey, that's cool. And then I researched it.
And then you never clued me in on that.
Okay, so Spirit of Bruce is specifically for people who love Robert the Bruce, who appreciate what he did for our history, but not necessarily a part of the bloodline. So this is for Robert the Bruce aficionados, and they don't have to worry about wearing a plaid that isn't a part of the bloodline, even though that whole... Sorry. Forgot I had that.
Unfolded,
I'll just cut
perhaps?
that out. Yeah, I already...
Wow.
I am tired. Leave me alone. So yeah, that's what Spirit of Bruce is for people who appreciate the history and appreciate what he did and don't believe the lies of Braveheart. And
yeah, that was probably the single most ahistorical movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, I know.
That is really pretty.
And what's sad is that there are still people who believe that's a historical movie.
Not even close.
Not even close. He stole my ancestor's nickname.
Yeah, Braveheart is Robert the Bruce's nickname, not William Wallace's. What I do like is there's an anecdotal story about the filming of Braveheart. When they were done making the film, and Mel Gibson was touring Scotland during the release tour and everything like that. One of the he met with a local. I've heard that it was a farmer, but I don't know if that's actually true. But he met with one of the local guy who'd seen the movie, and during the Battle of Stirling, which was supposed to be the Battle of Stirling Bridge, he asked where the bridge was. Like, it was a fine battle scene, but where was the bridge? And Mel Gibson said, "Well, we found that the bridge kind of got in the way." And the guy replied, "Yeah, that's what the English found too." The Battle of Stirling Bridge was basically the Scots lured the English onto this narrow stone bridge, and
so the whole point of that battle and why we won that battle, they just ripped it out of the scene.
Essentially, they just made it
let's just make this a fun battle scene like every other.
They just made it an open battle sequence instead of having. And in fairness, it's a lot more dynamic to film an open battle sequence than it would be to film an English army marching across a bridge and getting slaughtered. And I think what ended up happening...
they accept a challenge.
True. But I think what actually happened historically was that the bridge collapsed and a lot of the English army kind of got thrown into the river, which would have been hilarious to see on screen.
Right?
It's difficult.
I would have so wanted to see that.
I can tell. I mean, in 1995, that might have been a difficult sequence to figure out.
And they should remake it properly.
A proper...
a proper Braveheart.
Also, William Wallace wasn't a peasant farmer. He was a noble.
Yeah, no part of that movie was historically accurate.
Didn't you say the cat ran into somebody who worked on that film?
No. She ran into the Wallace who was responsible for the film.
Randall Wallace, I believe, was the writing credit.
She walked right up to him, said, "I'm Cat Bruce and you owe us." And he just laughed and walked away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they made Robert the Bruce out to be a spineless turncoat weasel, and that's not who he was.
Daddy's boy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know in fact, but in spirit I am, and spirit is greater than fact.
Outlaw King.
Outlaw King is a
Netflix.
much better film. Watch that one
Much
instead.
better.
And it's Chris Pine.
And
so,
it's
Florence Pugh.
loosely a sequel. I mean, it can't not be a sequel.
It happens essentially directly after the
events of the film. Yeah. And it restores Robert the Bruce's good name.
Mm-hmm. That was an excellent film. Highly recommend.
Okay, so how do you like your kilt?
I love it. It's so pretty. It's a great tartan. It's beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
It's absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
I'm going to try this on later. But
the research I did on this plaid is that members of the clan do wear this as well as the Bruce tartan or the Kinnaird of Bruce.
Bruce of Kinnaird.
That's the one, yeah.
No, I like it a lot. It's really pretty. Yours is ever so slightly woven differently.
Is it now? Let's find out.
The one thing that is advantageous about me being sick is I get to use my radio announcer.
Oh, you're right.
It's an ever so slightly different, brighter tartan.
It's brighter. The white and the gray is brighter than yours.
Here, I'm going to...
How is that? This is the same company and the same fabric. How is it?
Yeah, so there's hers, and here's mine. And it is a very slight... I mean, it's not
honestly, I like
different.
this better.
It's not super
different.
The contrast
is more prominent.
Yeah. Are they the same fabric? I wonder if maybe it's just taking the dye differently.
I thought everything on the website was made of the same acrylic blend, so I thought...
Ordinarily, we don't acrylic, but...
So, I did so much research, and I cannot find decent wool kilts for a decent price anywhere. So
yeah, wool is expensive. It's a problem.
So this company is the only one that makes skirts in this fashion.
True.
And I really like
is it is it a handkerchief hem? Is that what we're...
Yes.
Okay.
My skirts make good one-day projects, but this is, some effort was put into this.
Indeed.
So I like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm surprised that they'd be so different. They came from the same company. It's supposed to be the same kind of fabric.
That is interesting. But it's not, I mean, it's clearly the same tartan pattern. Yeah. But it's just one's a bit brighter than the other. And I'm okay with that, to be honest.
Yeah.
I kind of like
don't have to be
super
matchy. Yeah. You know what? I think I know what it is. Yeah, this one's lighter.
Mm-hmm. So I think
is lighter.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe that's just taking the dye differently than this did, and that's all.
Yeah, your fabric is heavier, so I think this would make a better kilt.
Oh yeah, it's a thicker, heavier fabric for sure.
More of a flowy skirt.
Oh, I do like. I don't even know if I can really film this, but
oh yeah, the temporary stitch.
Oh, that's a temp stitch. Okay,
it's a temp stitch.
Oh, I missed that.
It keeps the pleats from getting ruined in the mail.
So then once we clip the temporary stitch,
they're not cheap pleated, but this isn't cotton, so I doubt you're going to have the same problem that we had with the one I made you.
Okay.
But I cheap pleated your entire kilt, so that should make it easier to wear next time.
When the light hits it, it kind of sparkles.
That's the synthetic.
I know, but
part of the fabric.
Shiny.
Well, maybe a little.
A little.
Yeah. So they must be different kinds of fabric.
Mm-hmm.
But
they're pretty. I like them.
I like mine better because this is the contrast on this one, and yours is more gray and a darker red.
Mm-hmm. But I like it. It's subtle. It's kind of a stuff plaid or something. I dig it. I dig it a lot. It's really cool. Welcome to the channel. Like and subscribe. Isn't that what YouTube wants us to say? Our lords and master at Google? Yeah. Why are you dressed like you're going to a funeral?
It's the beginning of the end.
They're taking 1 year off. It's not the end.
That's what Cal City said. It's been 6 years since we've had a Renaissance fair to play.
Then I guess we'll have to find some other Scottish place to go.
Like where?